The monitor flatlines and he doesn't call for help. Instead, he says, do it. Why does that sound planned and not panic? Who decided this already ends now?
The monitor went flat, and my husband didn't call for help. He just said, do it. I'm Clara Williams. I'm lying in an ICU bed, completely paralyzed, unable to speak, but I can hear everything. The doctor is standing over me. My husband is beside him, calm, too calm. He's my wife, Daniel says. The bills are too high. She wouldn't want this. That's a lie. I'm screaming inside, but nothing moves. Not my hands, not my voice. Then he says something else, quiet but clear. There's a payout if this ends now. The doctor hesitates. A nurse looks at him like something's wrong. And just as the machines begin to shut down, the door swings open. Stop! Court order! Everything freezes. The doctor turns back to me and leans in close. Then he whispers something that changes everything. By court order, he can't make this decision. His voice is low, controlled, like he doesn't want anyone else to hear it. But I hear every word. And for the first time since the accident, something cuts through the panic in my chest. He can't decide? Then why was he so sure this was already over? I hear Daniel shift behind him. His tone changes, sharper now. What are you talking about? I'm her husband. I signed the forms. Forms? My mind races. I don't remember signing anything. I don't remember agreeing to this. The last thing I remember is headlights, too close, too fast, and then nothing but darkness until this prison inside my own body. The doctor straightens up, turning slightly toward Daniel. There's been a legal intervention, he says carefully. We need to pause. Pause? The machine beside me lets out a broken, uneven sound, like it's trying to come back to life. Someone adjusts something. A button clicks. Air moves through the room again. I'm still here. But Daniel doesn't sound relieved. He sounds irritated. This is ridiculous, he says under his breath. Every extra hour adds to the cost. She wouldn't want to be like this. Again, that lie. Repeated like he needs everyone to believe it. Footsteps move quickly across the floor. Papers rustle. The same voice from the doorway speaks again, firmer this time. This isn't optional, Mr. Williams. The court has already reviewed the situation. Reviewed what? My heart, or whatever part of me can still feel, starts pounding harder. Something is happening outside of this room, something I was never told about. The doctor leans closer again, his presence blocking out everything else. And then he says, just loud enough for me to hear, "There's more you don't know." He pauses, and for a second, everything in the room goes completely still. Then Daniel says one sentence, low, controlled, and suddenly dangerous. What exactly did you tell them? If Daniel couldn't decide, then why had he been acting like my life was already over? I focus on his voice, on every small shift in his tone, because it's the only thing I have left. He's pacing now, 2 steps, turn, 2 steps back. I can hear the faint scuff of his shoes against the hospital floor. This is a misunderstanding, he says, trying to sound calm again. My wife and I discussed this. She was very clear. No, I wasn't. The doctor doesn't respond right away. Papers are being handed over, crisp, deliberate movements. Someone else is in the room now. The voice from the doorway steps closer, sharper, more official. Mr. Williams, these documents suggest otherwise. Documents? My thoughts scramble. The last few weeks before the accident flicker in fragments. Emails from a lawyer, missed calls, Daniel asking questions I didn't fully understand at the time. How long does it take to finalize something like that? He had asked once, casually, like it didn't matter. At the time, I thought he was just curious. Now it feels like he was counting. Back in the room, Daniel exhales sharply. You're dragging this out for no reason. She's not coming back. A pause. Then the nurse, hesitant but firm, speaks up. She's showing response, minimal, but it's there. Everything goes quiet. He didn't expect that. I can feel it, not physically, but in the way the air changes, in the silence that follows. Daniel lowers his voice. That doesn't mean anything long-term. But now there's doubt in the room, not just from the staff, from him. And then the legal voice cuts in again. There's also the matter of the pending estate. That word hits harder than anything else. Estate. Daniel stops pacing. What about it? He asks too quickly. Papers shift again. A page turns. It appears your wife was in the process of finalizing a significant inheritance. Silence. Heavy. Pressurized. I can almost hear Daniel thinking. Then he says, carefully, yes, and? The response comes, measured and direct. And there are concerns about how urgently you've been trying to make irreversible decisions before that process is complete. No one speaks. No one moves. And then Daniel says something that makes the entire room tighten. You're implying something you can't prove. The room doesn't push back right away, but it doesn't back down either. And that's new. Because up until now, Daniel has been the one in control, the husband, the decision maker, the voice that mattered. Not anymore. The legal clerk steps closer. I can hear the soft click of a folder opening. Actually, she says, calm and precise, we don't need to prove intent yet. We only need enough concern to stop you. Stop you. Those two words land hard. Daniel lets out a quiet, disbelieving laugh. This is insane. I'm trying to do what's best for my wife. The doctor finally speaks again, slower this time, careful. Then you won't object to waiting. That's when it shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, but unmistakably. Because Daniel doesn't answer right away. And in that hesitation, just a second too long, something cracks. You don't understand the situation, he says, and now there's an edge. There are financial realities here, ongoing care, extended support. It's not sustainable. There it is again. Not grief, not fear, numbers. The clerk doesn't respond to the emotion, only the facts. We're aware of the financial aspect. We're also aware of the timing. A beat. Then she adds, the inheritance your wife is set to receive has not been finalized.
If the inheritance isn't finalized yet, why is he pushing this so fast? And why does that sound less like panic and more like timing?
Silence drops over the room like a weight. Even the machines seem quieter. Daniel's voice lowers. That's irrelevant. It's not, she replies immediately, because if Mrs. Williams passes before final confirmation, the estate transfers differently. No one explains further, but they don't have to. I feel it, like something just clicked into place, even if I can't see the full picture yet. Daniel doesn't argue this time. He doesn't correct her. He just says, slower now, you're making assumptions. But the confidence is gone, and everyone hears it. The doctor glances toward the monitor, then back at Daniel. Until this is resolved, we're holding all withdrawal procedures. Holding, not continuing, not finishing, holding. Another silence stretches, and this one feels different, because for the first time, Daniel is the one being watched. And then the clerk says something that makes everything stop again. The judge will be reviewing this personally. A chair shifts, someone inhales sharply, and Daniel finally asks the question he's been avoiding. On what grounds? The answer comes without hesitation. Potential coercion, tied to financial gain. The words don't echo, they settle. Heavy. Final. And for the first time since this started, no one moves to help Daniel. I focus on the machines again. The rhythm isn't gone. It's uneven, fragile, but there. A faint, stubborn signal that refuses to disappear. Then another voice enters, deeper, older, a second doctor. What exactly was initiated here? He asks. There's a pause before the first doctor answers. Pre-withdrawal protocol, sedation increased, ventilation reduced in stages. My thoughts jolt. That wasn't the end. That was the beginning of it. And who authorized acceleration? The second doctor asks. No one answers immediately. Then, a quiet shift. Her husband, the nurse says. Not confidently, not comfortably, just truth. Paperwork moves again, faster now. Pages flipping, someone scanning timestamps. These signatures, the clerk says, sharper this time, they were completed within minutes of each other. Daniel exhales. Because I didn't want delays. The second doctor cuts in, voice firmer. Standard procedure requires observation periods between each stage. Another page turns. That didn't happen here, the clerk adds. Silence. Not confusion anymore. Recognition. I feel it building, like something tightening around him. The nurse speaks again, more certain this time. He told us she had made her wishes clear, that she didn't want prolonged support. I scream inside. I never said that. Not once. And is there documentation of that? The second doctor asks. A beat. No, the nurse admits. The air shifts again. This time, it's unmistakable. Daniel steps forward. I can hear it, closer to the bed now. You're turning this into something it's not. But no one responds. Because now they're looking at the pattern, the speed, the pressure, the money. And then, like something snapping into place, I remember. A document, weeks ago. Sitting at our kitchen table, Daniel sliding it toward me. Just sign, it keeps things simple. I didn't. I told him I needed to read it properly. He didn't argue, he just took it back. Too easily. Back in the room, the doctor steps closer to me again, blocking everything else out. And this time, when he leans in, his voice is clearer, certain. By court order, you are the sole heir. Everything inside me stops. Not just what Daniel was trying to do, but why? And behind him, for the first time, I hear Daniel say nothing at all. For a few seconds, the room holds its breath. Then everything starts moving at once. The sole heir? The second doctor repeats, looking at the clerk. She nods, already pulling out another document. Yes, the estate was structured with a survivorship clause. Mrs. Williams must be alive to formally accept it. If she passes before that, it transfers to the spouse, the doctor finishes quietly. No one needs to say his name, but everyone looks at him. Daniel exhales slowly, like he's recalculating. That doesn't prove anything, he says. I didn't cause the accident. No one said you did, the clerk replies, but your actions after it are now under review. More papers move. A call is made. The tone in the room has completely shifted. This isn't a medical emergency anymore. It's an investigation. The second doctor turns to the staff. We're restoring full support, effective immediately. Buttons press. Machines hum back to life, stronger now, steadier. Air flows deeper into my lungs. The rhythm beside me stabilizes. I'm still here. And now, they know I shouldn't have been this close to gone. Daniel tries again, but there's something different in his voice now. Less control, more urgency. You're overreacting. I was trying to make a difficult decision. The clerk doesn't even look at him this time. You were trying to make a final one. A beat. Then she adds, too quickly. That lands, because now the timeline matters. The rushed signatures, the skipped waiting periods, the repeated push about cost. It all lines up. Footsteps approach the door again, this time heavier, security. Mr. Williams, one of them says, calm but firm, we need you to step outside. Daniel doesn't move right away. I can feel him there, still near the bed. For a moment, I wonder if he's going to say something to me. Anything. But when he finally speaks, it's not to me. This isn't over. Then he's gone. The door closes. And just like that, the pressure in the room breaks. Weeks pass. Slowly, painfully, I begin to come back. First awareness, then the smallest control. A blink, a response. Enough. Enough to confirm everything. My attorney visits, explains the rest in careful, grounded detail. Daniel had met with a financial advisor before the accident, asked specific questions about spousal transfer clauses, about timing, about what happens if a beneficiary dies before final confirmation. He knew. And after the accident, he moved fast. Too fast. The emergency injunction that saved me, filed by my lawyer when Daniel tried to rush the inheritance process without me present. He thought I wouldn't make it long enough for it to matter. He was wrong. The legal consequences come quickly. Daniel is removed entirely from any medical authority. An investigation opens into attempted unlawful termination and financial misconduct. His access to all shared accounts is frozen. People who once trusted him start pulling away. Friends, colleagues, even extended family. Because the story spreads. Not rumors, facts. And me? The first thing I do, once I can communicate clearly enough, is revoke every legal right he had over me. The second, I file for divorce. The inheritance is finalized weeks later, on my terms, with my signature, fully conscious. Same hospital room, same machines. But now the monitor is steady, strong, consistent. A doctor adjusts the setting, glances at me, and gives a small nod. No urgency, no whispers, no one making decisions for me. Because this time, I'm the one in control.
And if a single court order had not shown up on time, how many decisions like that quietly go through without anyone stopping them?